It's our affair part show. It's our affair part show. We all love a bitch. It's our affair part show.
Beer drinking, pizza loving, footy watching bogan.
Welcome to the Off Air Podcast. Hey Ben,
Yeah.
hit the remix.
Oh yeah, here we go.
It's
I reckon if I got hit by a car, that's what I would hear in my head as I'm falling slow motion.
Pizza loving, footy watching bogan.
And then my final word would be revenge. I'm Liam. I host the breakfast program with my good friend Ben.
Present.
Producer Belle.
Hello.
Producer Andy.
Present.
I don't know why I go in between. I know your names. We do this all the time.
And producer.
Yeah, what's that guy?
Sign of a small brain.
Guy with the glasses. I will not deal with that sort of disrespect.
Not today.
Not today. I think we're all a little uptight today. I mean, the studio, we came in.
I wouldn't say
studio
we're
was
uptight. I'd say
effed.
we're relieved now that it's done.
This is done. To be fair, I will say this is the radio station we've worked out with the least technical faults as a whole. Ben and I had our beginnings in community radio, and it wouldn't be uncommon for your studio to just break down on you at least 2-3 times a month. In fact, once smoke started coming out of the back of one of the computers, it literally caught on fire. And the studio actually caught on fire another time in this guy called Dance Space's show. He had like a deep house show. And he would always just like, he's one of those shows where they sort of like fade the music down and talk over the top of it. And he'd be like, fire in the booth. And then like he like dragged it down one time. He's like, literal fire, actual fire in the like because there was a fire. He's like, I'm not joking, fire.
And then Triple J had its fair share of studio issues. Great tech team, but like I think it was just because the studios are pretty old and stuff did go wrong pretty often.
But there was a lot of like, there was literally a master control room and everything came out of there as well. So there's a lot of like moving parts.
It's called MCR, not to be confused with My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, not to get too deep on that, but basically like here at Nova, for example, like I turn this radio studio on and we broadcast. It's as simple as that. Whereas like at Triple J or the ABC as a whole, you don't turn your studio on. Someone turns it on for you from master control. So you don't know if you're on or not until someone goes, yep,
And
you're on.
The master control room, when you walk past it, looks like NASA.
Yeah.
It was intense,
and they were all like
but it
really
was cool.
nice, but it was like if they had so much power and they could always listen to you and what you were saying. Also,
NASA in the 40s.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when the Nazis were running it.
Okay.
No, it's true. It's history. Look it up.
No, it's unnecessary.
I think it's not good to forget.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Would you rather we bury history?
No.
You know Werner von Braun or whatever, full Nazi scientist,
Yes.
and he's like,
Okay. Yes,
like
I do.
big NASA guy, and had something to do with Disney. I think Walt Disney. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll have to look into that. And enough Nazi chat.
Do you like a history chat, Andy?
Yeah, no, I like that. My favourite Walt Disney fact is that he was frozen his corpse.
Yeah.
So they could revive him one day to make more movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why they did it? To make more movies?
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Assume that was his motive.
No. But the thing is, it wasn't his body, was it? It was just his head.
His head,
Didn't they just freeze his head? But of course, the MCR, My Chemical Romance, the Master Control, also made blunders sometimes. I remember one of our good friends, Lewis Garnham, who've had on the show many times, an excellent comedian. He doesn't even know this, but he was doing a demo in a room.
The room was a radio studio.
Yeah, it was a radio studio, but he should not have been going to air. Like it was like a little dust broom cupboard where you just record bits and bobs.
Yep.
And MCR stuffed up, and they put him on Radio National, like the political, like for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, like no one realised for about 10 minutes. So
he was chopping it up.
He was doing his radio demo.
But it was a demo, so he was practicing. He was like being like, Triple J. Like, you're listening to Triple J.
Swearing and that shit.
And it was being broadcast on Radio National for 10 minutes before anyone realised.
10 minutes.
And I remember vividly saying, like, as he walked into the studio, don't worry, man, you won't go on air. It's
that's
all
it.
good.
Yeah.
Just
Crazy,
do whatever
isn't
you
it?
need to do in there.
But the point of the story is here at Nova, tech-wise, been pretty good. But today, a bit of a disaster.
Yeah. So when we sort of first realised when we were doing the first break of the show, which you won't hear in the podcast, but Ben was talking. Then I was talking. I couldn't hear myself. I assumed it was my headphones. We swapped the headphones. Then I tossed up going to another mic. And then we quickly realised that all 4 mics on this side of the desk, like every other mic bar yours, Ben, wasn't really working. We couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear the music, couldn't hear nothing. So then for the 16 quiz, went into Abby's studio, then the callers couldn't hear me.
Yep.
Because I was like, man, are these callers thick? Like, they're
Yeah,
not-
so from the newsroom, you can broadcast, but then you can't hear the callers.
It's just we're running
You
around.
could hear the callers, but they couldn't hear you.
That's it.
Because there's buttons above the faders
Yep.
that send your voice to
Yeah, right.
different things.
And-
so you
yep.
need to select.
And
That's
then
right.
on top of that, we were like, our only option then was to go into Studio 2, which is literally a
Frickin-
scrapyard.
It feels like Paramount Browns.
So
in there.
whenever
And
something...
it's as cold as a fridge.
Oh,
in there.
so
Oh,
cold.
man, it's literally like we have another studio that no one broadcasts from except for sometimes Belle when she does her early breakfast. But like it's literally used as like if something breaks in our studio, we go into that studio and like scrap a piece off of
Yep.
it. Do you know what I mean? So there is specifically 2 microphones there's 3 microphones, 2 of them working, and then all the other microphones have had all the pieces like literally stripped out of them so
Yep.
they don't work.
And then all the buttons, like when I push the buttons, they all pop out of their sockets.
Yeah.
All the things all the screens are in the wrong spots. Half the screens don't work. When you type on the keyboard, it clicks really loudly, which for a radio studio is a horrible design, like loud keyboards.
Yeah. Oh no, it's shocking. You feel like those little like are they called Jawas? Those little
Yeah. Yeah.
in Star Wars with their little bright eyes, the little guys, the junk guys.
Yes.
Just an unnecessary Star Wars.
No, it honestly feels like one of those guys is going to pop
Maybe you're
out.
thinking of Ewoks, Belle. You thinking of
I'm not
Ewoks?
thinking of
No, so
anything out of that
Ewoks
crap.
are like the furry bears,
Yep.
the Jawas where they're like the Putini. Like that's sort of how they sound.
Yeah.
I really don't need to see a picture.
What are they,
Really
Sarah?
don't
That's a
care.
Jawa.
Anyway, we fixed it. You're all good now.
Yeah, we're all good. It's
But
all done now.
it was chaotic morning because this was going on. I was trying to fix it. I was on the phone to Lockie Tech, who I reckon did a great job of fixing it
Oh
in the time
bloody
he
hell.
did.
He would have had to come in earlier.
well, I woke him up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I woke him up
No,
and-
he did a great job.
Meanwhile, I was
quickly.
running around with the Wednesday weather kid trying to find
It
a
always
place.
seems like that kid was lovely, but we have a kid who reads the weather on a Wednesday, and shit seems to hit the fan on a Wednesday. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's always like, and then we were running around, and we're like, why is there a kid here? And they're like, oh, that's right, he's supposed to read the weather. Like,
So, order of business from me.
yeah.
Is it time that we put the Wednesday weather kid out to pasture?
Well, it had a big break because of COVID,
Yeah.
and people couldn't come into the studio. I must admit, I liked the Wednesday Weather Kid. I think it's cute.
I like it because the kids are really sweet and they're very excited
Yep.
and they do a good job and their parents come in and they're listening
Yep.
and they're, as
That,
soon as
that
they
whole
find out.
experience is nice.
And in my head, I'm like, my mind would blow into a million pieces if I
if
was
you met you.
No, if I was a kid and able to get like on the radio, that'd
Yeah.
be so cool. But that being said, we don't have to do the work. We're just like, hey kid, and we'll have a bit of a chat with them. I know you guys are like running around trying to run the show and get them recorded,
Doing
but-
calls and trending and Love Rat and everything else that I'm doing, plus recording a Wednesday
Yeah.
weather kid and
Yep.
making sure the family's happy is a challenge.
You know what? If anything, it's an early nod for Team Member of the Week there, Bill.
Oh, thank you. You know how you played the intro Vortex before?
Are you giving me an early nod?
No.
Oh.
That's how my morning felt.
This is Bell's inside Bell's head the whole time. She's like, hi, this is what's trending this morning, guys.
I'll make my case and then
Yep.
I'll welcome any rebuttals.
Yep.
So I think it is not the best use of Bell's time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's way more important to be doing trending.
I think Todd could do it,
Audio.
though. Sound guy Todd.
So this is my next thing. I would be happy if you delegated that task of managing the Wednesday Weather Kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want any part of it because I don't like. I don't like mingling.
Well, look, why don't we don't normally do this, but I think it could be a nice feature if something like this comes up in discussion, if it's show related, let's do a bit of a vote. So I'll say all those.
Well,
Liam,
I mean,
you
shall
can-
we?
you
I
run
mean,
them, you
I
can-
don't want to be rude here, but we talked about the this sort of family tree of Nova yesterday, and we sort of saw Ben.
Oh, hang on,
you
what? So
sort
I
of-
don't get a
Well,
say
no,
at
it just
all?
probably means your vote's worth like half a
Half.
vote because,
Oh my
like,
God, I'm
no,
the one
because Belle, we
recording
saw because we saw. Remember that there was like a hierarchy where it was like our boss, and
Yes.
then Ben, myself, and Andy were on a
You know
level.
what, though?
and then
This
This
no.
directly affects me.
Yeah, but a half vote is actually good because there's 4 of us. So if it's 2-2, it's a hung tie. But if
Yeah.
you've got a half vote, that means there's always going to be a majority.
Can I just say something quickly? Just on side note. My partner Luke came home yesterday and said, there's a few women at my work that just want to know if you're okay. And I said, oh, why is that? And he said, I think just like listening to the show, they don't really get like your friendship with Ben and Liam, and they like it does sound like they bully you on air. And they just pulled me aside today and said, "Is Belle okay? And does she get bullied at work a lot?" Because on air it sounds like, "Oh my god, Ben!" No, I'm serious. Because the thing is, people don't get that we're
I would
fine.
not have been fading the microphone down at that point.
Yeah. No,
Anyway.
it's a bit. We
Point
obviously
being,
love
people
Belle.
in their cars genuinely think that you're bullying me.
Well, that's
on
the
a
thing. I
day-to-day
think
basis.
if you listen, I get drilled as well. Ben doesn't get drilled.
I get drilled on the occasion.
On the odd occasion, but I think in the order of drilling, Belle, I'd say you cop it the most. I definitely cop it as well,
Yep.
and I would say Ben the least, and Andy, you don't really cop it too often.
I think you guys are still warming to.
Well, it's-
doing
You'll get a
I'll
copping,
get it.
sir.
I'll get it. So
you get your bollocking. I mean, you had your head up your ass all morning this morning.
Scale of 1 to 10.
You kept going, "Oh, what are we doing next?" Like, mate, we know it.
No, you didn't.
You're supposed to be telling, "Hey, mate, 7:30 outer break and 8:30 outer break." You said, "Oh, what are we going to do here? We're going to do the Summited Man." I said, "Mate,
I said, oh, hang on, no, actually, corrected myself.
You were too busy.
Head up my
What
ass.
you were actually doing, Andy, you were watching FIFA video highlights from
Liam
different
was,
eras.
Liam was watching FIFA.
You were like, "Oh,
video.
mate, check out 98. Check out 99." and then I went to the toilet, came back, and you were going, "Check out 2005."
And I'm out there with this freaking Wednesday weather kid.
Yeah.
And you guys are watching FIFA.
I need
And
to
now I
keep-
don't even get to vote
We
on
need
it.
to keep the talent happy, Belle. Do you feel?
They are not.
Do you scale of 1 to 10? How close to the line does the bullying come? 10?
Oh, I don't care.
No.
Okay. well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
There you
fine.
go.
Great.
So, are we going to vote? Does anyone want to make any rebuttals
Hang on,
to the
does
Wednesday weather kid?
Not really. I think I just want to vote. But does Bill get half a point? Because I think
that was a
but
piss
look,
take.
let me
That was
be-
obviously a piss take. She
But-
has you 100% of a vote.
Okay, then. But do you not understand what I'm saying? If it's 2-2, then we're going to be
You
hung
know,
tight.
I get your point. My point is, I'm also a human being in this team, and I'm like a full
We'll
point.
give you 2 points. I don't care. You
Don't
get 2
overdo
points.
it.
Okay, I've just looked at the rule book, and Belle gets a thing called a super point. So it's actually the deciding. It's a deciding vote. I didn't realize, guys. I hadn't read the rules before.
Should we have a rock off?
If it's 2-2,
you
I'm
versus
not doing a
me.
friggin' rock off
If I
again.
win, you get half a point. If you win, you get 2
Why are we
points.
rocking off to then vote? This is
like,
free
we're
control
literally-
over
This is
again.
All
like
right, all right,
this
all
is
right.
like
Everyone
a
gets a point.
major share of the company. Okay,
Everyone gets a point.
everyone's shaking on that. Everyone's
Yep.
got an equal share.
Yep. So I want it to be old school. So
You've
you
got
go.
25% each of the company.
So if we say all in favour of Weather Kids, if you're in favour, you say aye. If we say all those opposed, you say nay.
I'm honestly I'm just trying to make a decision because I could go either way. Like,
Hang on, if we keep the Wednesday weather kid,
Yep.
is it locked in though that I'm not
I
recording?
think we have
Yeah,
to lock
Todd
in.
has to do
I
it.
think we lock.
I just
think
like to give them
we
and their
probably should
family
give-
like a good experience.
Oh,
You know?
like-
so I'm like, hey guys, and like,
No,
take
I
them
would
around,
throwing tomatoes
give them
at
on a
them.
Tour. No, like give them. I put together a goodie bag for them to take
that's
home.
great.
I make sure that they've
I
seen
think
everything and
I
everything
think
makes
we
sense.
could between us could say get a
Okay,
give a
Liam,
goodie
you
bag
make up
and-
the goodie bag. Ben,
I'm happy
you
to do
take them
that.
for the tour. Andy,
I'm hosting
you
the
make
show.
sure that they get all their photos and everything.
All right,
not
okay.
be doing it.
I think to be fair, and maybe I'm totally wrong here. I reckon Todd could put together the goodie bag once a week on a Wednesday.
Todd-
Show him where the merch cupboard is.
I love how Todd's listening in the studio right now. Going, this is bullshit.
I don't think he would care. Todd's a lovely, lovely man. I don't think he's going to have a problem
list
with
is-
putting together some
just keeps
sunscreen and a frisbee in a merch
Okay.
bag.
Whoa,
What?
there's a lot more stuff in there.
Fidget spinner.
Whatever.
Would you
in
also
there.
agree that sometimes Wednesday where the kid comes in, they're stoked, and other times they couldn't give it
He
up?
couldn't
Oh, it's
care.
definitely the
parents.
parents,
Yeah.
yeah.
are more excited.
That's why it's funny when the parents are getting photos with you and the kids aren't. You're like,
Yeah.
what? But also nice to meet people who listen to the show.
Exactly.
I think I think it might be a little bit extra work off air, but I think it does sound good on air.
Okay,
I think when the kids are reading the weather, it sounds cute.
all those in favour of keeping the Wednesday weather kid say aye.
I
Okay, everyone bar Andy.
okay. All those opposed.
Nay.
Okay, we're keeping it.
We're keeping it.
We're keeping
Yeah.
it.
Is Andy above us all though?
No,
No,
we've
no,
seen the
this is
chart.
the
We've seen the chart, Bell.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, yeah.
I'm not above everyone.
I can't believe you bring the
Just you.
Can't believe you're bringing the chart up again. I mean, we've been through this.
we should get the chart printed
Let go
off.
of the chart.
Imagine Phil's like, "Hey guys, you need to go to this call," and we just point at the chart and we just go, "We'll be doing what we damn please."